Hello Guardians, welcome back, it's WrightWayGaming and today I'm going to talk you through the patch notes for 1.1.4 in Destiny 2 guys. So first up, strikes, Nightfall Strike unique rewards. Now this next line is quite interesting. Possible rewards include legendary weapons and exotic accessories. Now that is interesting because there's no mention of legendary armor. So is it only legendary weapons and an exotic armor piece? Maybe that is the way they've worked it so that the armor pieces you get from it have a purpose. I don't know, but we're going to find out obviously when we start to get these rewards in. Drop rates increase in likelihood based on score thresholds. So the higher score you get, the better chance at getting this reward you do. So in other words, if you score like 200,000 points, you're probably going to be like a 70% drop rate or something daft like that. Those aren't official numbers, I'm just giving you an example. Strike repetition is reduced, so we won't get the same strike twice in a row, that's pretty obvious. Players will no longer, yep, that's basically explaining that. Challenge card, they increased the power handicap maximum from 40 to 45. They fixed an issue on the tree of probabilities, so that it wouldn't immediate end after Valis is dead, it'd delay it for some reason. They also fixed an issue where players could respawn below the boss fight in the garden world. They fixed an issue where vehicles were not rewarding points when destroyed, and they fixed an issue where orbs granted points in public areas, which is obviously unfair. Other, exotic repetition reduced, which they did mention, so basically chances of getting a duplicate exotic now if you haven't got another exotic already is basically reduced, so it shouldn't happen as often. They fixed an issue where some emblems were not displaying what statistics they should have, which I weren't too familiar with anyway, but I think it was like the planetary ones where it said that you only opened like 4 chests, but you'd actually opened 10. I don't know, something like that. Prometheus lens appears correctly in the collection now for players who acquired the item from Xur without owning Curse of Osiris. They reduced the interaction time for patrol beacons from 3 seconds to 1 second, so you can just run up to them now and pretty much spam them, which is probably better because why wait 3 seconds when they're not really that much of importance anyway? Fix an issue where applying or previewing a shader or an item would return players to the top page of the shader inventory. Now that one was getting on my nerves, guys. I don't know if you noticed it, but I definitely did, and it was annoying me. Right, sandbox, guys, and this is the big one, the long one. Weapons, so pulse rifles up first. Increase PvE damage for all pulse rifles by 16%. Increased rate of fire for adaptive and high impact pulse rifles, which is decent. So adaptive now go from 360 RPM to 390, it's a plus 8% difference. High impact from 320 to 340 RPM, which is a 6% difference. Increased base damage for adaptive, high impact and rapid fire pulse rifles. Adaptive from 14.5 to 16, that's a 10% difference. High impact from 16 to 18, that's a 12% difference. And rapid fire from 12 to 12.5, which is a 4% difference. Increased precision multiplier for lightweight pulse rifles from 1.5 to 1.6, a 6% difference. Decreased precision multiplier for adaptive pulse rifles from 1.55 to 1.475, which is a -6% rounded off difference. This keeps precision damage close to where it is now when you factor in the base damage and rate of fire buffs above. This puts most of the buff into body shots, but in the end this still increases precision damage overall. Scout rifles, increased PvE damage for all scout rifles by 15%. Increased base damage for high impact scout rifles from 37 to 40, that's an 8% difference. So things like your maybe Nameless Midnight might be taken into account for that, I'm not sure yet, but it could be, and that will make that thing pretty damn good in PvE now, guys. Hand cannons, increased PvE damage for all hand cannons by 15%. Precision hand cannons deal 0.15 more precision damage, increasing from 1.5 to 1.6. That's a 6% difference on the precision damage. That's pretty awesome, I think. Increased hip fire accuracy when using controllers on console and PC by 33%. Now that's interesting. But they've also increased ADS accuracy with hand cannons as well by 25% on console and PC. That's going to make hand cannons pretty awesome, guys, I think. Sidearms. PvE damage increased for all sidearms by 15%. Hipfire accuracy by 20%, basically reduced the cone by 20%. ADS accuracy reduced the cone by 12% as well. Increased inventory allowing for more reserves to be stored. Increased range fall off start by +1 meter, that's probably going to be quite helpful. And increased ADS movement speed. So that could mean that Last Hope has just become lethal, guys. These are going to be the weapons to try out. Submachine guns, increased PvE damage for all submachine guns by 10%, set optics to 1.3, and increased inventory. Nothing too major there in my opinion, guys. Linear fusion rifles, increased PvE damage again by 50%, that's quite interesting. Increased aim assist and decreased flinch multiplier. That could make them pretty interesting in terms of PvP, but we'll see. Shotguns, increased PvE damage for all shotguns by 35%, increased inventory allowing for more reserves to be stored, increased aim assist on Shuros precision shotguns, so Shuros shotguns might be something to watch out for. Sniper rifles, increased PvE damage by 20% for yellow bar enemies and by 40% for red bar enemies, that's interesting. Increased precision damage, which now scales with the weapon's rate of fire, changed from 2.5 multiplier for everything to 3 multiplier at the lowest rate of fire up to 3.5 at the highest rate of fire. Increased aim assist, now that one I'm interested in because aim assist on these weapons were already quite high, so that is going to be interesting and I will be giving it a test. Increased inventory allowing for more reserves again, so grenade launchers, increased blast radius, drum fed grenade launchers plus 0.5 meter range and one shot grenade launchers by 1 meter range. Medium mini tool now has decreased optics to match other submachine guns, preventing the stacking of lightweight and the medium mini tool's lightweight perks so you can't run as fast anymore. Adjusted player movement speed to match medium multi-tool. Auto rifles decreased range by 10 on all precision auto rifles and decreased aim assist for all precision auto rifles, bringing down the likes of Uriel's gifts, I'd imagine. Perks, now this is perks, I don't know how much you want me to go into detail on this, but I will go into it. Scaled up PvE damage for following perks. High impact reserves from 1.12 to 1.30, that's a 16% difference. Kill clip from 1.33 to 1.53, that's a 15% difference. Rampage from 1.33 at 3 stacks to 1.65 while at 3 stacks. Also increased duration from 3 seconds to 3.5 seconds, that's probably quite interesting. Dragonfly buff damage from 50 to 65, that's a 30% increase. We then have a 30% additional damage against combatants and updated FX, which I'm not too sure what that means, whether it means visual effects. Explosive rounds, decreased PvE explosive rounds damage multiplied 15%, that means the devils will bring down that damage. Increased PvE damage for the base weapons to compensate for this decrease. Grave Robber reloads 50% of the magazine instead of 30% now. Timed payload splits damage 55-45, explosive direct instead of previous split which was more direct damage. Now onto the abilities. So they've increased the regeneration for supers from 6 minutes 40 to 5 minutes, so that's a minute 40 shaved off, which is quite a lot. The output of every increment of the ability stat from 2 to 10 has been increased, allow for a significant boost in player speed. Vanishing step, invisibility upon dodging, and vanish in smoke bomb invisibility. Dodging remains unchanged and still breaks both aim assist and projectile tracking for the duration of the actual dodge. The invisibility granted by Vanishing Step no longer breaks aim assist or projectile tracking in PvP, unchanged in PvE. Increase the duration of invisibility granted by Vanishing Step by 1 second, and increase the duration of Smoke Ban invisibility by 1 second as well. Increase the movement speed of melee supers, thank God, Fist of Havoc, Sentinel Shield and Arc Staff. That's a big one for Blade Dancers, by the way, guys. While these supers are active, sprint speed is automatically set to the fastest possible sprint speed, no additional perks needed. That is perfect. Characters automatically sprint when you request forward movement. Increased movement acceleration to reach max speed almost instantly. That is awesome in my opinion, guys. Now on to Titans. Increase the distance player travels with an untargeted airborne shoulder charge attack, shield bash, seismic strike, hammer strike back to 4.5 meters. Lift, strafe lift, increased top speed of strafe lift. That's basically going to allow us to Titan skate again, I think, guys. Catapult lift, increase the initial horizontal acceleration gained from activating catapult lift. Increase the amount of time catapult lift can be active to allow for more control. Hunter, Arc Staff. Increase the speed of the Arc Staff dodge animation, great. Increase the speed of all Arc Staff attack animations, great. For Arc Staff supers cast animation and all Arc Staff melee attacks, reduce the amount of time you're locked in animations before you can move or attack, great again. Increase the AoE range of all Arc Staff attacks. That is a really good buff for the Blade Dancers in my opinion, guys. Warlock, Glide. Increase the initial extension of vertical speed gained from activating Glide to allow for quick on-demand bursts of speed. Strafe Glide, increase the top speed of Strafe Glide, greatly increase the horizontal acceleration of Strafe Glide for a more inert maneuverability. increases strafe glide's max height to match the other vertical movements. Burst glide greatly increases top speed of burst glide higher than strafe glide's top speed. Wow. Balance glide, recalibrated balance glide to gain some of the added speed of burst glide and some of the added horizontal acceleration of strafe glide. That's pretty awesome, that, for warlocks, in my opinion, guys. Dawnblade, decrease the cost of throwing sword projectiles with a Daybreak super, allowing for one additional throw. Increase the super duration extension gained from the Everlasting Flames perk, plus 20%. The buff granted by the Swift Strike melee ability now removes all inner accuracy penalties while active. Decrease the Icarus dash cooldown from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. Increase the grenade and melee energy that heat rises gives you per kill from 10 to 16%. That is awesome. Mods, guys. Mods that affect ability regen rates, i.e. for grenades, melees and class abilities, now have increased output, 16% per mod. They still cap at 3 mods that takes you to 50% regen rate. Now, Crucible, guys, there's new weekly featured playlists. Rumble, Mayhem and Iron Banner. Each week we will rotate among Rumble, Mayhem and Iron Banner playlists in the Crucible. The Crucible repetition reduction, same as everything else, like with the strikes and the exotics, so that you're protected against repeat maps in quick play, competitive and Iron Banner playlists. They're introducing the quitter penalties, so if you quit there's a chance that you'll get a 30-minute cooldown where you'll be locked out of competitive and Osiris competitive playlists. Added invisible physics and kill volumes to keep players inside the intended play area on a number of maps. So now if you go outside the map, you will die after a certain amount of time. Iron Banner now features 6v6. The time limit is 12 minutes. Score limit is 125 points. Respawn time is 7 seconds. All control zones start off neutral. Additional Guardians, max of 3 in a zone, increase capture speed. Emperor's Respite has been removed from the Empire Control playlist for some reason, don't know why. Power ammo, recurring side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 45 seconds. Wow. Initial side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 30 seconds. Wow. Crucible gameplay ammo improvements. Quick play match length has been extended to 10 minutes with score limits adjusted accordingly. And in all modes, increase assist and kill credit time from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Increase super energy granted to players for both kills and assists. Players who are defeated while carrying power ammo will lose all of their power ammo and drop 50% of it on the ground as a brick. The brick is visible to all players and anyone can pick it up. The brick expires after 30 seconds. The brick requires a full 0.25 second interaction instead of a passive walkover. This interaction can be interrupted if the player takes damage. That's interesting. Quick play. Match length has been extended to 10 minutes also with score limits adjusted. Respawn time for all quick play game modes has been gone down from 5 to 2 seconds. Okay. Recurring side crate from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. Neutral crates for class and supremacy are unchanged. Player's super display has been removed from the HUD. Players can still access this information in the dev screen while in nav mode when their ghost is out. That's also interesting. The player's super display remains unchanged in competitive. Control reduced initial side crate power ammo respawn times from 90 to 30 again. Change the amounts of super energy players get for capturing zones. Players on the capturing team get slightly less than before. Players participating in the capture itself get 2 times that amount. That's interesting. Clash Supremacy. Initial side crate power again 90 to 60 seconds. Competitive and Trials of the 9. Tracker is now turned off. This is to enable more flanking and expression of individual power. I'm interested in that. I will be playing Trials this weekend to try it out. Survival, reduce recurring neutral crate respawns from 75 seconds to 45 seconds. Interesting. Reduce respawn time to 7 seconds. Also interesting. Countdown, reduce recurring side crate 60 to 45 seconds. Lowered revive lockout from 20 seconds to 7 seconds. That's a massive difference. Players no longer lose revive tokens on death. Interesting again. Crucible power ammo crates. Rockets now get 1 instead of 2. Drum-fed grenade launchers stays at 4. Single shot grenade launchers now get 6 instead of 4. Sniper rifles get 6 shots instead of 2 mags capped at 6. Shotguns now get 5 shots, 2 mags when they was capped at 2 mags at 4. Slug shotguns now get 6 shots where it was 2 mags capped at 4. Fusion rifles 5 bursts was 4 to 5 shots based on mag size. Wardcliffe's coil stays at 1. Swords now you get 6 swings, was 30% of total energy capped at 9 swings. Linear fusion rifles gets 4 shots now instead of 2 mags capped at 6. The Prospector now gets 8 grenades instead of 4. Legend of Accius now gets 4 shots where it was 2 capped at 4 again. Tractor Cannon now gets 6 shots, 2 mags capped at 4 before. Colony stays at 4 shots. Darcy now gets 8 shots whereas it was 2 mags capped at 6. And Borealis Sniper now gets 8 shots whereas it was 2 mags capped at 6. That was a lot of patch notes to go over, guys, and overall I think it's a step in the right direction by Bungie. There's lots of stuff I'm looking forward to, especially with the unique Nightfall rewards and stuff like that, which is what I'm going to go and jump on stream and do now, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will catch you next time for some Destiny 2, guys. See you then.